Okay, let's talk about the market. The market. Well, Australian home values were up 0.4 in March, reversing a recent downward trend and returning to record highs. Interesting. The positive movement in growth was reflected in values across most capital, except Hobart. Hobart is the only capital city who is not in a positive growth trend. They're in a negative growth trend, and it's only slightly negative 0.4, so nothing to be too concerned about. However, the pace of gains has noticeably slowed in Perth. Only 2% growth. Let me rephrase that. Only 0.2% growth in Perth. Noticeably slowed in Perth. We'll talk about that. Park that for a second. Largest capital city, 0.3%, and Melbourne, 0.5%. Interesting. Hope our Melbourne gentleman joins us so we can have a little bit of a yarn with him. Melbourne's turned a positive corner with values rising over the past 2 months. 3 months considers a trend, remember? 3 months considers a trend. 1, a warning. 2, a heading in the direction of a trend. And 3 is a trend. Okay, so regional housing markets, 0.5, value growth continued to outpace the combined capitals of 0.4, so marginally in March, but growth is converging as capital gains accelerate. Rental values are also at record highs, with the national rental index up a further 0.6 in March, in line with February increase, but well below the 1% increase seen this time last year. Dwelling rents rose across every capital city in March, led by a 1.2% lift in Hobart. Woohoo! While Melbourne recorded the smallest monthly rent rise, up just 0.3%, because they're all buying properties again. In annual terms, rental growth is clearly slowing, easing from a cyclical peak of 9.7 over the 12 months ending November 2021 to 3.8 over the last 12 months. The slowest annual change in rents since March 2021. So there is a cyclical and trending slow in the rental market. Nationally, rents have risen 38.4% over the past 5 years, more than double the 15.4 rise seen in wages over the 5 years to December. So renters are doing it tough, folks. Let's have a look at Aotearoa. New Zealand rose by 0.5% in March, the strongest since January last year. Median values are now sitting at 812 nationally, which is substantially down, the highest since June 2024. However, values are still down by 16.3% compared to the previous January peak of 2022. Chief property economist Mr. Davidson says the largest figures signal the market is now into a new growth phase. And that's why we are here, on the back of lower interest rates and improved affordability after the previous value falls. So New Zealand, 0.5% growth for the quarter, 0.9% growth, still showing a negative of 3% for the 12 months. But certainly they have floored out.